Imagine you're standing in a rushing river on one bank, carrying all your worries, fears, and desires. On the other bank, there's a serene, calm figure who seems invulnerable to the chaos of the world. That figure is you, but an improved version of yourself. Would you like to cross that river? Would you like to discover how to get to that stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself? Today, I'll tell you a story about how an ordinary man managed to cross that river using the teachings of the ancient Stoics. But this isn't just their story. It can be yours too. If you are enjoying this video, subscribe, give it a like, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. The modern world bombards us with constant demands, endless work, social media full of comparisons, and empty promises of instant happiness. It's easy to feel trapped, like you're swimming against the current without getting anywhere. How many times does it make sense that your days just slip away without you really making progress toward what matters? That you get carried away by the external noise instead of listening to your inner voice. But there is a way, a bridge that allows you to cross that rushing river into a more meaningful life. This bridge is built on the principles of Stoic philosophy. There was a carpenter named Lucius who lived in a town divided by a mighty river. The inhabitants always relied on flimsy rafts to get across, but Lucius decided to build a strong bridge. He knew he couldn't do it overnight, so he started with small steps, cutting wood, placing pillars, adjusting every detail. Just as Lucius built his bridge, you can build your self-discipline. Start with small daily actions, meditating for 5 minutes, writing a list of priorities, or simply taking a deep breath before you react. Every small step brings you closer to the other shore, where a stronger version of yourself awaits. In the middle of the river, there was a lighthouse whose keeper never let the storms extinguish his light. He knew he couldn't control the weather, but he could keep the flame that guided lost travelers alive. In your life, there will be storms that you can't avoid: criticism, failure, loss. But you can choose to keep your inner light burning by focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, decisions, and attitudes. When you learn to focus on what is within your control, you become a beacon for others. A traveler walked through an unforgiving desert. Every time he felt thirsty, he remembered that he carried a small canteen with him. Although water was scarce, he managed it wisely, knowing that every drop was vital to survival. In life, there will be times when you feel exhausted, but the key is not to avoid suffering, but to learn to manage your inner resources: patience, gratitude, and strength. Resilience doesn't mean never falling. It means always getting up. High on a mountain, an old man used to talk to an echo. Every word he spoke came back to him, amplified. If he said something negative, the echo would echo it. If he said something positive, it would echo it back. At the end of each day, reflect on your words and actions. Ask yourself, what echoes am I creating in my life? This practice will help you adjust your course toward a more intentional life. Daily reflection is like a mirror that shows you who you are and who you want to be. There was a wrestler in a circus who faced off against enormous opponents. Every time he fell, he got up and kept fighting. No matter how many times he fell, he always got back up. For him, every fall was a test of his strength and determination. In life, every day is a new opportunity to prove your commitment to your principles and duties. No matter how small or routine, every action counts. Persistence is not just about great efforts launched sporadically, but about consistent dedication to daily tasks that collectively forge a disciplined life. A farmer worked in an inhospitable steppe. Every day, he got up early and sowed his fields with dedication. He did not think about the past or the future. He only focused on the present. Every task, no matter how small, was performed with full attention. Mindfulness is not just a technique, it is a way of life. By being present in the now and doing today's work, without carrying yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's worries, you transform routine into ritual and effort into continuous improvement. Decide what showing up means to you. Write a paragraph of that book you've been meaning to finish, do a 5-minute workout, or spend 10 uninterrupted minutes with a loved one. It's not the climb that's important, but the act of showing up each day. An explorer in the wilderness had to make tough choices. He could follow the easy, comfortable path, but he knew that would lead to certain death. Instead, he chose the difficult, yet unfamiliar, path that would allow him to survive. Willpower isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about choosing what leads you to personal growth and a more meaningful life. Sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that take you the furthest. A philosopher on the mountain wrote at length about the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. We can influence external events, but we cannot fully control them. The Stoic learns to accept this truth not passively, but as a liberation. Focusing on our own actions and letting go of adherence to external outcomes keeps us calm and effective, regardless of the circumstances. This practice doesn't mean being indifferent or disconnected from the world. It means engaging with it more constructively, channeling our efforts where they can make a real difference. A warrior in battle faced constant temptations to give up the fight, to surrender to the enemy, or to give in to fatigue. But he knew that each choice was important. Deciding to resist temptations and keep going, even when it seemed impossible, led to victory. Resisting temptation isn't just about saying no to what's easy. It's about staying true to your values and principles, even when everything seems to go against you. An artist in the woods worked with simple materials, wood, stone, and paint. Despite limitations, he created beautiful and meaningful works. I learned to value what I had and to find beauty in the simple. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is an attitude. By acknowledging and being thankful for what you have, you can find greater satisfaction in daily life. A traveler on the river sailed calmly, not worrying about the flow of the water. He knew he couldn't control the river, but he could control how he handled the boat. In life, you can't control everything, but you can control how you react to what you can't control. Autonomy isn't just about being independent. It's about making decisions based on your values and principles, not on external pressures or temporary emotions. An old man on the beach used to sit and watch the sea. He didn't look for quick answers or easy solutions. He simply observed and reflected. The Stoic mental exercise isn't just about thinking deeply. It's about training your mind to face challenges rationally and calmly. By practicing self-control and patience, you can develop a strong and resilient mind. A builder was raising a temple. He knew that every stone, every detail, was crucial to the final structure. He didn't rush. He worked with precision and care. Personal discipline isn't just about being rigorous. It's about applying yourself to each task with attention and commitment. Every small effort contributes to building a solid and meaningful life. A philosopher in the garden grew flowers and plants with patience and love. Each plant was cared for with dedication, and each flower bloomed in its time. The Stoic virtues aren't just abstract concepts. They are practical principles for living a more meaningful life. Wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation are the cornerstones of a life well lived. A guide on the trail taught others how to move forward in the darkness. He pointed the way, but he also shared his own experiences and mistakes. Emulating virtuous role models isn't just about admiring them. It's about learning from them and applying their lessons to your own life. By watching how others deal with their challenges, you can improve your own approach and make more informed decisions. An observer in the mirror reflected on his own reflection. He didn't seek to blame himself for his mistakes, but to learn from them. Daily reflection isn't just about reviewing the past. It's about using what you've learned to improve the present and the future. By observing and adjusting your actions, you can refine your life and get closer to your ideals. A traveler in the woods walked calmly, unhurriedly. He didn't let external noise disturb him. He simply enjoyed the moment. Inner tranquility isn't just about being relaxed. It's about maintaining peace of mind even in the midst of chaos. By focusing on what you can control, you can find a deep serenity that will guide you through any situation. Carpenter Lucio continued to build his bridge. He knew he couldn't do it alone, but he also knew that self-discipline was key. Every day, he took a step closer to completing his work. Self-discipline isn't just about being disciplined. It's about staying true to your principles and values, even when things get tough. The traveler on the river kept sailing, facing strong currents and contrary winds. At times, the river was mighty, but he didn't deviate from its course. Resilience isn't just about getting up after falling. It's about staying firm on your path, even when the difficulties seem insurmountable. The philosopher on the mountain kept writing about the importance of controlling what is within your control. He couldn't change the weather, but he could change how he reacted to it. Inner control isn't just about staying calm. It's about making choices that bring you closer to your goals, even in the midst of uncertainty. The traveler in the desert kept managing his water carefully. At times, he felt thirsty, but he always remembered that every drop was valuable. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for what you have. It's about valuing every little detail in life. The temple builder kept working with precision and care. Every stone was placed with attention, and every detail was important. Personal discipline isn't just about being rigorous. It's about devoting yourself to each task with attention and commitment. The philosopher in the garden kept growing flowers and plants with patience and love. Every plant was cared for with dedication, and every flower bloomed in its time. The Stoic virtues aren't just abstract concepts. They're practical principles for living a more meaningful life. The guide on the path kept teaching others how to move forward in the darkness. He pointed the way, but he also shared his own experiences and mistakes. Emulating virtuous models is not just about admiring them. It is about learning from them and applying their lessons to your own life. The observer in the mirror continued to reflect on his own reflection. He did not seek to blame himself for his mistakes, but to learn from them. Daily reflection is not just about reviewing the past. It is about using what has been learned to improve the present and the future. The traveler in the forest continued to walk calmly, without hurry. He did not let the external noise disturb him. He simply enjoyed the moment. Inner tranquility is not just about being relaxed. It is about maintaining peace of mind even in the midst of chaos. The carpenter Lucio continued to build his bridge. He knew he could not do it alone, but he also knew that self-discipline was key. Every day, he took a step closer to completing his work. Self-discipline is not just about being disciplined. It is about staying true to your principles and values, even when things get difficult. The traveler on the river continued to navigate, facing strong currents and contrary winds. At times, the river was mighty, but he did not deviate from his course. Resilience isn't just about getting up after you fall. It's about staying firm on your path, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The philosopher on the mountain kept writing about the importance of controlling what's within your control. He couldn't change the weather, but he could change how he reacted to it. Inner control isn't just about staying calm. It's about making choices that bring you closer to your goals, even in the midst of uncertainty. Lucio built his bridge. The guardian kept his beacon lit. The traveler survived the desert, and the old man mastered the echo. Each found their way to the other shore. Now it's your turn. Start today. Make a small promise to yourself. Read a page of a book, give thanks for something you have, or simply observe the world without judgment. Step by step, you'll build your bridge to a fuller life. Remember, the river may be mighty, but within you is an unbreakable force. Cross that river and discover who you really are. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, turn on notifications, leave a comment.